Hey everyone, Jamie Pate here. Welcome to another video. Yes, I'm a little excited. Do you remember? I remember. Do you remember a week ago I talked about I wanted to do this cool tool kind of extra bonus video in the week? Well, I'm back. This is what this is. And you will be so excited. I know you will because you've asked for it and I've got it. Yes, this is the longed for pocket book. It's a book. I should put it the right way. This is the longed for pocket book. This book is made up of pockets. That's why I call it a pocket book. And you guys have been asking how to make it. So let's chat about that. Okay, to get started, do you remember this pocket book where it is made literally of pockets? It's made of actually 4 pockets, and then this backer here. You can see where the rain has hit my backer. And what I've done is basically created a way to bind these pockets. And the star of the show is this cool tool, the nested pocket dies. A lot of you have this, so pull them out and let me show you how we're going to do this. This version here is all pink, obviously, and it's all pink patterns from Heidi Swapp's Sun Chaser. So I've grabbed some Sun Chaser here, and I want to do a greenish blue number, okay? What you're going to need is 5 patterns if you're going to make it with the patterns work like on the book I showed you. And I have 4 pieces of paper here, but I'm going to use this as my backer page, and then I still have this pattern, and then I'm going to use this pattern here. I just think it's super fun with that distress and stamp kind of look on it for the small pocket in the front. So at this point, just make a decision on which pocket you want, which pattern, and go ahead and die cut those out. Okay, you can see now that this is all cut out, the patterns that I chose for my green-blue version. And I have this little pocket here as well. Pretty happy with how this turned out. Now here's where the binding part comes in. Here's what I suggest. Go ahead and fold your pocket. And obviously part of this is we need to create a backing for the pocket. But not only that, I want you to mark when you are tracing around here to know where you're going to cut this out. Then go ahead and mark where it ends, but you're going to need at least another 1/4 inch over here on this side. Let me show you what I mean. Now I'm going to trim out where I traced this. And then I'm going to trim at its length. And I don't want to actually cut where I've marked it for how wide it is. I want to move over about at least a 1/4 inch. You could go a little bit more and then cut. So then when you attach this to your pocket backer, and I suggest going ahead and doing that at this point, now you have your little binding edge. This is what's going to connect into the next pocket. Does that make sense? So grab out an 1/8 wide double-sided adhesive. You've seen me use this very often. This is one of the best uses for this skinny adhesive tape. And go ahead and get all your pockets ready for the making. And you can at this point obviously go ahead and get all of them ready to be adhered. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add this to my pocket backer, and it will be okay if once this gets in place, if you have to trim either the bottom edge or the top edge. That one turned out pretty good, so I'm not going to have to do that. Okay, now that that is on here, I'm going to bring it back to my trimmer. I'm just going to use my trimmer as my scoreboard, and I'm going to score right up against where the pocket ends. And fold that over. And that is the binding for my next pocket. The thing about this is that I need to go ahead and add that now before I add the backer to this next pocket. So let me kind of repeat that a little bit. To now bind this first pocket to our next pocket, I am going to add adhesive to the back of the flap. This time I'm using a 1/4 inch width because I have a little bit more room to work with on this scored flap. And now this just is going to wrap around this second pocket. And by adding it now, and you can have this all the way down the bottom, you can do it kind of in the middle. By adding this now, we are creating a hidden binding, because now this backer paper is going to cover that binding. So now I'm going to repeat what I did with my first pocket. Going to add adhesive. Let me get these creases a little flatter. Just use a bone folder to come in and make sure they're as creased as they can be. Now when you get to this last flap where you can see where I have a little bit of hangover from my previous pocket's little flap, you can trim that up so it doesn't get in the way of your pocket action. Now time to add the backer to pocket number 2, same way we did it with pocket number 4. The trick is getting the backer paper off the adhesive strips. That in itself is no easy task. Okay, you can see on my paper here how I marked where I think my score is going to go. So I'm going to start with this corner here and this side here. Make sure everything's lined up. Then, like we did before, score your flap. Right? And now it's ready. And you can see that's kind of an extra wide flap. We don't need them really to be that wide, but it's ready now to wrap around this pocket. Is in place. And fun. I love these patterns. They are just working out pretty good. Now it can be a little tricky here on this edge. You want to make sure your fold gets over far enough to where you're not seeing too much of it over here. So just kind of massage that a little bit until you're good with how much is or isn't showing through. Obviously, this last pocket will adhere to our last piece, just like the other ones, right? It's going to wrap around that. This is a 5x5 piece of pattern paper. It's going to wrap around the back here. Then if you want, and this is completely, of course, as all things are, optional, you can then add a piece of lightweight chipboard to the back part of this pocketbook and then cover that with an additional piece of pattern paper, just to give it a bit more stability. And it kind of feels like at that point a little bit more of like a mini album, which this of course could be used as. I want to make sure my pattern's the right way because that would not be fun. And just going to wrap that so where it's kind of in the middle. I'm going to check my front here. Yeah, I like how that's looking. I am choosing to go ahead and back mine up with just a lightweight chipboard. I mean, it could be like part of a cereal box chipboard, right? That way, if you're going to give this as a gift, it's going to stay extra sturdy. If you're going to put it even in a book, if you're going to put it in an album, if you're going to put it in a pocket page, it's just going to have a little bit of extra sturdiness to you, for you rather. And so again, this is a 5x5 backer. And if I have anything that I need to trim off here, I will do that. But I think I did a pretty good job there. And so then all it needs is just one more piece to cover the back. So that has a nice complete look to it, plus it feels sturdy, so I'm happy about how it turned out. So now let's just do a little bit of embellishing to the fronts of these pockets. So I'm going to grab, I have a bunch of just pre-cut elements and of course puffy stickers and regular stickers. I'm just going to kind of see what comes together here for me. I'm going to grab this little guy, back him on this little circle here, and I like to just kind of have all things sort of poking out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and staple this together and then attach it to the edge of this. For the next pocket, I decided to grab a round label. I love these little puffy hearts here. I think I want this so that when it's closed, you can kind of see how that guy is peeking through there. And then I really love this Trust the Process from the definition stickers. And I think that would be a great... Actually, this can move down a little bit here. And that way that can go over that. And it looks like that. And I'm going to back this with cardstock and then adhere that in place. And for this next pocket, I want to take, somewhere around here I have this heart clip that's part of Sun Chasers. So I'm going to adhere this with the clip only. And then kind of a little juxtaposition there. And then this little banner, notched banner. I have this ticket die cut from the pattern paper. I'm going to tuck that up in there. And I think I'm going to grab this heart here, kind of let it cross over the paper and the clip, and then we just have the one more to embellish. This one's kind of easy. This is from one of the cutaway papers, and so I just went ahead and cut that, and I think it needs a little bit of turn here on the edges, using my handy dandy ruler to scrape those up a little bit, to stress them. That sounds like a much better word than scrape any day of the week. Thought this was a cute little tag. I'm just a fan of this very subtle, what looks like stamping that is on the paper. So I'm always a fan of that. And I thought I would go and kind of repeat what I did on my other book, do Wander and Roam, although that's backwards to me. What do you think? It needs to go like that. I don't know. Would you do that? Heck, we are so going to do that. And I'm going to come in here on the edge with my stapler and then adhere this to the pocket. It kind of looks like it's all stapled together, but not really. And this is open for any kind of interpretation. Okay, to finish this up, now that you have this wonderful pocketbook, you can do this with, again, the 4 different pocket sizes. You could do it with all the same pocket sizes. You could do it with a small pocket and then all large pockets. I mean, just let your imagination have some fun and let your creativity take over and use up those dies that you have. And the other thing I wanted to just be mindful of is, how you can, now this could be a pocket full of notes. This could be a wonderful birthday card for somebody, and each pocket has, I don't know, 4 things you love about them. Or it has a tag and then you pull it out and there's all your favorite photos with that person. I don't know. Just some ideas I want to throw at you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being patient as I put this pocketbook video together. And if you have any questions, as always, please let me know. And I will see you in the next Cool Tools video.